This presentation was originally written before COVID-19 ravaged our world, forced us into our homes, barred us from seeing family and friends, and took our loved ones from us. In the time since, many of us have become glued to our screens for learning, playing, and seeing family, for special events, for TEDx conferences, for everything. Although many of us have gotten used to this ultra-connected life, there are so many in our world who have been left out, who can't hop on a Zoom call to catch up, who are lonely. In the time since the pandemic began, this presentation has only gotten more relevant, and the importance of supporting others more crucial. I was on vacation about 1.5 years ago, and while I was away, I received a very cryptic email from my mother. I can't take any pictures on my phone. My cloud is full. This is at best a complex question, and at worst, totally incomprehensible. One of the main features of the cloud is that it doesn't really have data storage limits, thus it doesn't really get full. I did my best to offer some support over email, but as I was over 12,000 kilometers away, I couldn't really solve this full cloud problem. This sort of interaction is common between younger people and older people. In general, from what I've observed, young people rarely get offended by these sorts of requests. Many of you have probably handled these sorts of tech questions yourself. In the case of my mother's question, I had to delete some pictures off of her phone, making sure they were in the cloud already, of course, which took about 5 minutes. Other requests can take days, especially in the case of the dreaded, "The internet isn't working, help" phone call. This might require a visit from the internet repair person, who can only come on the worst day possible, between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., and specifically during the times where you know you have a performance review at work, or maybe a midterm. But also, if you've ever helped out a family member or friend like this, they were very likely greatly appreciative. Also, if you've ever done this, you understand the idea behind the student club I co-founded, called the NTech Computer Club. NTech was founded in 2015 to help older adults who live away from their families in retirement homes or long-term care homes use technology to keep in contact with their family and for recreation, for improved mental health. For these older adults, they often don't have access to a young person to help them with their technology problems. They may also not have any experience with a computer, but may be interested in trying it. NTech connects younger people to older people who want to use technology. What we do isn't revolutionary. It's as simple as giving an older family member a device and supporting them in using it in a way that benefits their lives. When I tell people about the club, I usually get one of two reactions. The first is a remark about how patient we must be to teach older people how to use technology. The second is the other person excitedly sharing their own experiences, teaching a family member or other older person how to use technology. Standout examples I've heard include helping family members listen to music, especially music from a specific country. One of my favorite examples is that with NTech, I helped an older lady use Google Street View to see her old family house in the United Kingdom, including the steps her grandfather had built, which were still there. What NTech does isn't rocket science. We teach older people who don't currently know how to use technology how to do so. You too should consider reaching out to the people in your life who aren't using technology and see if they're maybe interested in learning. Younger people are often told that we're on our smartphones too much, that we're too connected and too wired to each other. We're also often told of the dangers of being too connected on our mental health, effects which are very well documented. For older adults, the opposite is true. The internet can help them stay connected to family members and has been shown to reduce feelings of loneliness. Staying in contact with a family member who lives far away, for example, at a retirement home or nursing home, can be a very meaningful way to help that family member continue to feel connected to the rest of their family. Another favorite example of mine is a couple in their 90s who I helped connect with family members and friends all around the world. As they started giving their email address out, in what should be a shock to no one, they started getting a lot of unique emails, including chainmail, which you might remember from the early 2000s. Naturally, that was a bit challenging to explain to them, but we were able to make it work. The couple also shared their email address with their grandchildren who live in Australia. The grandchildren sent along a picture of the plot of land they bought to build a house on. Without email, it's very possible this couple never would have been able to see this land and the promise that it meant for those grandchildren. These types of interactions can go a long way towards helping older adults stay in their family members' lives. By this point, I hope you're at least considering giving a family member an old iPad or cell phone you have laying around, if you're fortunate enough to have that. It's important to note that giving a family member technology needs to be done in a sustainable and respectful way. Very often, I talk with older adults whose family members have given them a piece of technology with the expectation they'll be able to use it themselves. It feels like the family members are dumping the technology onto the older adult. With EdTech, I've often heard sentences like, "My child gave me this iPad. I don't know how to use it, and they expect me to message them," often said with a deep sigh, or some lament that they were unable to figure out the device themselves. If you are interested in giving a family member some sort of technology, it's important to remember that they may have no interest in using it. We've seen there's a lot of reasons for this, including fear sometimes, especially from what they've heard through the media, and also maybe some self-doubt that they can learn it. But if you take the time, you can challenge these beliefs and allow them to reap the benefits of staying connected with technology. Of note, it often takes a while for older adults to become proficient in using technology. Repeating instructions helps get better at doing a specific task. And handouts, like the ones that we have on the TEDxUW website, are especially helpful to allow older adults to have something to reference when using technology. The work that TEDxUW does can and should be replicated by others. TEDxUW actively supports this through the resources on our website, and I encourage you all to help an older family member or family friend get online. Remember that introducing technology needs to be done in a way that supports the older adult's mental wellness, which includes not dumping technology onto them, expecting them to learn how to use it themselves, but instead creating an environment where they feel welcome to ask you questions. At the end of the day, this process has many challenges, but from what I've learned, the benefits to both the older adults and the younger people that support them often outweigh the challenges to all. Thank you.